All right, so last week, I read a little, headline that Paulo Costa had booked a fight with Yoel Romero. It looks like Yoel Romero is still up to his antics, and Yoel Romero finds a way just to be different every single chance that he can. He knows how to put an asterisk on everything about him. So UFC announced this fight. UFC basically said, okay, this fight is on, yada yada. But Yoel Romero has not signed the contract. He has not yet signed the contract to fight Paulo Costa Borrachinha. In my opinion, this is an easy fight for a Yoel Romero. All Yoel Romero has to do is the same thing that he always does. Conserve your energy, conserve your energy, conserve your energy, and then come in with a bomb. Do some explosive, come out there with one of those explosive knockout punches. But, I think that Yoel Romero is seriously contemplating leaving the middleweight division. I think he might seriously be contemplating leaving that middleweight division. He talked about it. Dana White talked about it. Everybody was talking about him moving up to 205, and I thought that was the outcome. I actually thought that I was shocked when I saw that this fight was being booked with Paulo Costa. Are they trying to throw him to the wolves before he leaves the division? He already lost. Well, how many fights did he lose? So yeah, he already lost those 2 fights. He lost to, Robert Whittaker twice, the champ. The guy is so stupid, he couldn't even make weight to get an interim belt. I really just don't see how Yoel Romero is going to see any success at middleweight anymore, to be honest. And that might be why he's not keen on signing the fight. I don't think he's afraid. I just think he's not keen on it because he cannot make the weight anymore now that he can't use steroids. But anyways, this is what I'll say about Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa is an absolute world beater. He really is looking like a world beater out here. He is seriously looking like the type of guy that will decapitate you with a hook. With one hook, he seems like he will absolutely decapitate you, but he doesn't even go for the head oftentimes. Paulo Costa is Paulo Body Shot Costa. He's always throwing to the body, always ripping the body. But this is what I can say about the guy. He's still very new in the UFC. He has 4 fights in the UFC. This is a huge step up for him. I thought that after fighting Uriah Hall, and to be honest, that Uriah Hall was getting with him a little bit. Uriah Hall was working him a little bit. Uriah was able to pump the jab, stay out of distance, keep his range. He actually was doing very well until, I think it was I don't know if it was eye pokes or ball strikes or something. Something happened where they had to pause the fight a couple of times. And then you could just see Uriah Hall, his mental state just left him. It just abandoned him at that moment. And so he was left for the KO. But what I can say for Paulo Costa, this is a huge step up in competition. This guy's getting a chance of a lifetime to knock out a contender. Paulo Costa, if I were doing an episode of What's Next, I would put him against a Thiago Santos or a David Branch. I wouldn't be putting him up against the most recent contender. I really think that this guy could be the next Brazilian star because he literally looks like somebody chiseled him. Like somebody thought about what he's going to look like for a long time, and then they just chiseled him out of, granite or marble or yellow, whatever some fancy stone. The guy he's got that. He's got that wow factor. I'm not sure how I feel about Paulo Costa getting this fight because Paulo Costa basically just said, I want to get this fight whether he makes weight or not. I hope that he doesn't make weight. Well, what type of stupid crap is that to say? You hope that you go in there and fight a guy who's not going to be in tip-top shape, who's not going to be fighting their best fight? That doesn't make any sense to me. Anyways, I'm not sure if this fight is actually going to be made. I think they're going to put Paulo Costa in there with Thiago Santos or David Branch, somebody else that seems to make more sense. Yoel Romero is on a string. He's on the edge of a string right now. He's lost. He's missed weight. He's, not confident about 185 anymore. He's lost twice. The last fight was brutal. He's lost 30% of his check for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 checks. I can't remember. He's just on a string right now. Anyways, I hope Paulo Costa can get a good fight, but I don't know if it's going to be this fight. Anyways, guys, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you think.